Hey guys, Cyndi Williams here, the Wanderlust CEO. Today we're talking about how much does it actually cost to start your own online travel business. If you want to find out what it costs, and you also want to find out what are your core costs, and then maybe what can you push to the optional side, and also the number one thing that you need to do if you don't want to burn through cash like a drunken sailor, then keep watching. That's what we're talking about today.
Come take my hand, I will walk with you. I won't let go till you say so. There isn't anything I wouldn't do. Wanna make sure that you understand.
All right, guys, don't forget to take a moment, like, subscribe, and ring that notification bell over on YouTube. We bring you amazing content every single week to help you grow and start your travel businesses, and I don't want you to miss a thing. If you're new here, type a little "I'm new" in comments so I can welcome you to our community. And if you are new, my name is Cyndi Williams. I started in the travel industry almost 30 years ago. I have a lot of great information in this noggin that we love to share on the channel. I'm most known for being the CEO of Careers on Vacation, which helps certify new and experienced travel agents and agency owners all over the world. So what we're going to do today is we're going to talk about some things that you need to know. And by the way, if you're in that kind of consideration phase, you're thinking about getting into being a travel agent or having your own online business, this is the perfect video for you. So let's dive right in. I want to start by talking about, there's so much to think about when you start a new business, and that's really what you're doing when you are venturing to be a travel agent, because this is not the model that even I grew up in, right? When I started in the industry, you would go to travel school, then you would work for either a mom or pop, or you'd work for a big call center. There are different things that you could do in the industry once you went through that travel school piece, but it was more like we were employees, right? That's not the model that's out there today. You really are running your own business, whether you are under someone's umbrella or not. We're going to talk about that here in a second. But I want to start by talking about the core expenses. What are the non-negotiables you absolutely have, or you cannot do your job like physically or mentally or whatnot. So these are the things you have to have in place to get started. First one is you have to have credentials. You cannot book and earn commission unless you have credentials. What do I mean by credentials? When you call and make a booking, let's use Disney as an example. You call Disney and you say, "Hi, I'm Cyndi with Cyndi's Travel Agency. I'd like to make a booking for my clients, Mr. and Mrs. Smith." Great, Cyndi. What is your IATA number? What is your CLIA number, right? There's different numbers that you can get your certifications under. Now, there's two ways to get those credentials. The first one is you could get your own. You could go straight to IATA. You could go straight to CLIA. You can look at what their requirements are. Once you meet the requirements, you can apply. You pay a few $100s. Anything from $235 to $399 is what it costs to get registered. But the only problem with that is you're not really going to know what the heck you're doing, right? You don't know how to be a travel agent. So a lot of people just don't, outright apply for credentials because you're going to be completely lost. And that's just the first step of the process, because when you apply for credentials, you're really saying, I am an agency, right? There's some things that need to happen before that. You'd have to get a business set up, an LLC or a sole prop or an S Corp or however you want to organize. So what a lot of other people might do is they might work for someone else that has credentials for a while. And let me clarify what I mean when I say work for. Not in an employee setup necessarily, because that's not really how our industry works, but you can use another agency's credentials. And this is a process that you work for an agency and they either charge you a monthly fee or they charge you a startup fee. And then they are going to share in whatever bookings you make under their credentials. There's going to be what's called a commission split. So you have to know that there's other strings attached when you go through that method as well. And by the way, there are a lot of different ways to become a travel agent. Not one path is right for everybody. So you can't watch this video and go, that's what I think that's what I want to do. But I do want to tell you about our masterclass, which is totally free. So go visit this. I'll drop the link below. But the masterclass walks through exactly how to get started in the industry. We model out this is one path, this is a second path, this is a third path, and even a fourth path. So depending on what your goals are, do you want this to be a hobby business? Do you want it to be something that's going to replace another income? Do you want to have your own thing? Do you want to work under someone else for a while? I walk through some very specific models on there to help you. So definitely check that out. I literally created that class because I get so many questions on social media and here on YouTube about Cyndi, just how, like how can I get started, right? So please go check out that class. That will help you a ton. So, but today we're talking about cost, right? I'm just giving you hard costs so you can think about, is that a fit for what I'm looking for? So you're either going to get your own credentials or you're potentially going to work for someone that has credentials in what we call a contractor capacity, right? So those would be your choices in that scenario. Now, what other things do you absolutely have to do your job as a travel agent? Well, you're going to need a computer, right? You have to be able to make bookings. So whether you have a PC or a Mac, all of those work, right? So as long as you have access to a computer to do your job, to get your logins, to get everything set up, that's a pre-requirement. Probably already have that, especially if you're watching this video. The other thing you're going to need is Wi-Fi. Really good Wi-Fi I recommend too, especially if you're going to be traveling or you want to be a travel agent who takes your job on the road, right? Have great Wi-Fi. We are a very mobile business. We operate from all over the world. We're based, of course, here in the States, but when we're traveling, we can log in and do our job as long as we have great Wi-Fi. So having Wi-Fi and then a phone. Obviously, you have to be able to pick up the phone, call your clients, call suppliers, handle challenges. I don't think any of those are going to come to us as a surprise to anyone, and you probably already have all of those things. And listen, on paper, technically, that is all you need to get started. It doesn't mean it's all you should have, and I'm going to go through the optional things next. But those are literally, if you just have those things, you technically could get started as a travel agent. Now, you're probably not going to have any idea what you're doing or what to do next or how you can better your business, and that's why we're going to go through some of these optional expenses next. So the next one I want to talk about is earning a certification or getting some training. And there's different ways that you guys can do this, just like there's different ways to get into the industry. There's everything from, Cyndi, I'm just going to try to learn it myself. I'm going to try to watch every single one of your 1,000 YouTube videos and learn as much as I can, which, hey, go for it. That's fine. Or I'm going to go to travel and tourism school. Or I'm going to do a certification, right? And yes, that in full transparency, that is what we do at Careers on Vacation. We certify people every single day. There's way more in the program than obviously we have out there on YouTube, because being a travel agent is not an easy job. It's not like booking travel for yourself. But above and beyond the actual skill set of being a travel agent, even if you're really adept at putting processes together and figuring all that stuff out, there's a component to setting up your business online that can be challenging. And that's what on the DIY side, where that model breaks down if you're trying to do it for free. And even on the travel and tourism degrees, we have so many people that get travel and tourism degrees and still end up in our program because they don't know how to get their business out there online. They don't know how to set up the processes. They don't know how to have those conversations with clients. They don't have the workflows, right? So a lot of times you'll want to find a certification. Look, there's other certifications out there. I do recommend you find one that is not affiliated with what we call an agency or a host. And you might say, well, Cyndi, they're going to give me training. Yeah, here's the thing though. When you're working for a host, remember you are a contractor, so you're working under their umbrella. If they don't have a third-party educator, or if they are giving you a program, it's probably going to be skewed or tiered towards what they want you to do to build their agency or business, right? So if you're really looking to be an individual contributor or eventually graduate out of that model, you want to know how to set everything up the right way from the beginning. So when you graduate out of that model, everything will be done. You don't have to redo a bunch of stuff. And also, so you get the real scoop on what's in your best interest. So whether it's my program or someone else's, look for something that is independent of that who you're working for process. And also, if you can find one that has some mentorship involved, like we have a whole team of mentors and agency owners who work in our programs to coach and get the next level of travel entrepreneurs brought up to the same level that we're at. That's a beautiful marriage, because in that situation, you're working and learning from people who've already done what you want to do. So those are the components to look for in your training certification. All right, what else is optional? You're not going to believe this is optional, but it totally is. Insurance. So having insurance If you make a giant mistake, that's kind of important, but technically there's no requirements in most cases to have what we call E&O insurance. E&O stands for errors and omissions insurance. But I recommend it, whether you are, again, a contractor working under someone else or you're independent, it is a good idea to have your own E&O insurance. That's going to cost you a few $100 a year when you get started. If you're brand new, you don't have a ton of sales yet, so you can start out at what we call a starter policy. So that's a great thing to consider on your optional list. I would put that up there right under training and certification. Next thing you're going to want to budget in for on the optional side as soon as you can afford it is, you guys, get some good branding, a nice logo. That makes all the difference. Your logo speaks before you do. I have a ton of videos on marketing. We really work with our clients in our program to get there. I have to tell clients every single day, we're going to push a little bit further. We're going to push a little bit further because you want a brand that really just speaks before you do, right? So please get great branding. That's a really, really important thing. Then there's operational tools. Like, sky's the limit on operational tools in our industry. Some agents do this really, really well. New agents are like deer in the headlight, right? We train this every day and they're like, I didn't know there was like this piece and this piece and this piece. Remember, a lot of stuff is optional. So deciding on what workflow you're going to put together, what tools you want to use from a service and a sales perspective and a marketing perspective, there's a lot of little different things that can be optional. I'll give you some examples. Having a CRM system, a customer relationship management system. Where's your customer data go? Where do you put all the reservation numbers? Where do you put their preferences? Where do you put their frequent flyer numbers, right? Like, where is the place that lives? Not required in our industry, but you would be crazy not to run your travel business without a system, right? So picking a CRM, and again, different, as many ways as there are to get into the industry, there are that many and more CRMs to pick from. So really, going through all of the different ones you have to pick from. But just know, I know it's optional, but that would be one that's important too. There's itinerary planning services that are out there that can help you when you're a new agent. And also that helps from the customer standpoint when they have an app they can log into. There's some cool tools that you can use there that are out there in the industry that we train on. There's also Wanderlust Social, right? Wanderlust Social is our sister company where we do marketing bundles for you. Slap your new beautiful logo on there and you create amazing marketing bundles in like 5 minutes, right? So having some budget for that marketing stuff, optional, but great idea. Legal forms. Are you going to pay a lawyer an hourly fee to write up every legal form? Like if you're going to accept fees, or if you're going to do group bookings, or if you're going to do things that should have, especially post-COVID, the legal side of our business has become so much more important to protect you and your business. So there are services out there that can help you with that as well. And then, are you going to have a marketing budget? Again, totally optional. Our students in our program, we teach them how to do all of the free organic marketing to really kind of get that first burst in their business. And then we teach them how to layer in paid marketing so you're not wasting money. There's things that you should do on the organic level first. So know that both investment in time and learning some of these things, but also, are you going to have a marketing budget? I started my agency with a $50 a month budget. Now we spend thousands and thousands of dollars every single month on marketing. We also test a ton of stuff, right? Because we're testing for you to make sure we know what works. All right, so what is the number one thing? I promised I was going to tell you the number one thing you should not skip on the optional list if you want everything to kind of come together in a much easier way. And listen, whether you're doing this to have a very profitable hobby or you're doing this to replace another income and you really want to go after it full time, I do firmly believe that having that certification that's going to give you the confidence and also some of that on-the-job training and getting a roadmap. I don't know what anyone else's roadmap is, but this is ours, right? This is on our website. You guys can check it out. We teach people everything from how to be an agent, what your system should be, your workflows and processes, getting your recurring business model in place, how to deal with clients, all of those things. You need to not just learn how to do your job properly, but you need to know how to resonate and show up in that online market space in a big way, because just saying you're a travel agent is not going to have leads just flooding through your door, right? And also, the biggest thing we see with new agents is they'll think, well, I'm going to do it this way, create my own path. Great. Listen, I love you for that. But we have our program, when we have students in our program, half of them come to us at the very beginning and say, just show me how to do it right. The other half go, Cyndi, I really messed stuff up. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm in over my head. Oh, they'll spend a year or two just like trying to get all this stuff together. It's way harder, you guys, to like fix all of that stuff after it's like a puzzle that you're just trying to jam pieces in and it just isn't coming together, right? Way easier to do it right from the beginning. Think about it like a puzzle piece, and you have to learn all of these things. And if you have a map, you have directions, you have someone helping you with that process, it's so much easier. Getting those proven systems in place, learning also how to do that free marketing so you're not wasting money. So even though it will cost you money to participate in a certification, whether it's ours or someone else's, you're going to learn like the way that you should do things. You're actually going to end up saving money because you're not going to waste time and energy and money on stuff that doesn't work. And then you scrap it and start over. And then you have to pay for, you know, a different setup based on what your goals are. And that's the other thing with a good certification that's independent from a hosting or from an agency model, is you're going to learn how to forge a path based on your goals and based on your terms. Meaning, you know, my goal for all of you guys is that you're independent eventually, even if you are working for someone else, but you need to have this knowledge and information before the journey starts versus getting into that. Now you feel like you're looped in. And the other thing that's happening in our industry, it's really sad and unfortunate. I've had a few of these come through just in the last couple of weeks. There's some, not everybody, because there's a lot of great agencies that are hosting agents out there, but there's some weird contracts happening out there, you guys, like people doing non-competes for a certain amount of time, or saying if you ever leave, all of your commission is going to be left behind, like crazy stuff. It's heartbreaking because people are like, wow, I have to lose $10,000 if I want to start my own thing, or more. It could just depend on how much they booked. You don't want to get into a bad situation like that. You don't want to get, and again, there's not a lot of them, but they're growing in popularity and they do a great job of marketing. So you have to be careful. Our masterclass goes into that. So check that out as well. But guys, if you are interested in leaning in and learning how to become certified, we would love to talk to you. Our enrollment coaches basically will just have a call with you. You can go to careersonvacation.com/ready now, and we're going to learn about your goals. And if it's a match to work with us, we'll talk to you about how to apply for the program. That's my beautiful team right there. It's not just me that you get to work with. Yes, you're going to get to work with me as your mentor as you work through our 12-week program, but you get to work with our entire team, our mentors, our coaches, our educators, our experts, same experts that got my businesses to where they are today. So visit us over there, and I'll go ahead and drop that link down below too. But guys, thank you so much for tuning in today. I hope this gave you some perspective on how much it really costs. And it's not just about the financial cost, right, of starting your business. It's the emotional cost. Because when I talk to people who've gone through that journey of trying to DIY it for 2 or 3 years, it's not even the money that they wasted, it's the time that they wasted, right? So that's one of those things where as long as you know what you're in for, you can make better informed decisions. And that was what my goal with this video was today. So hopefully it was a help for you guys. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring that notification bell over on YouTube. And we'll be back next week with another video. I wish you so much love, so much abundance. I wish you the world. Bye, guys.
Calling me, like the rainbow, It's calling me, like the rainbow.
Hey guys, Cyndi Williams here. If you like that last video, make sure you check out all of the other content on our channel. And if you want to follow along and travel with me around the world and see how I run my amazing travel brands and get some great tips on how to grow your own, make sure you check out that other content. I'm going to drop a couple videos here. Click those links. I'll see you next time. Bye guys.